Starting with the greatest name of Allah, who is the most merciful and the most beneficent. I am Shahana Batool Messo of B.Ed Honors Elementary Part 3, and my presentation topic is strategies for solving problems and interventions. In this topic, I will discuss strategies of problem solving. But before moving there, first of all, we will discuss the terms that are necessary to discuss before moving further. Because if we know the meaning of these terms in problem solving perspective, it will help us. It will facilitate us to understand the topic smoothly. So here we have first term, that is guidance. And guidance is simple term mean to direct or provide assistance to someone who needs help. And then the second term is educational guidance. Educational guidance addresses the several educational problems that students face during the year where they receive education. Yes, it happens. Several problems faced by students, to guide them, educate them, and how to overcome the problem is educational guidance. Then we have another term, that is counseling. Counseling is a professional service provided to an individual who is facing a problem and need help to overcome the problem. Counseling is considered to be a central part of guidance. The process of counseling helps an individual find solution to a problem. People need counseling like in education, personal, vocational, and social, and in many different areas of life. So it's a process, involves a lot of sessions where in counseling and a counselor talk to each other, discuss the problems, and share the information to find the best possible solution of the problem. And guidance and counseling both are essential at educational and vocational levels for students, so that they can choose the right courses and the right careers for their life. Guidance and counseling is highly needed to assist and solve individuals' personal, emotional, educational, and occupational problems. And next we have problem solving term, and creating new solution for problem. We have problem in our daily lives, and these cause anxiety, stress. So what can be done? And there is a way to help you solve your problem successfully. This is simply called problem solving. Our youth faces problem of drugs, alcohol, suicide, AIDS. These problems are spoiling the lives of many young people, their families, and affecting the society as well. In educational institutions, it is a responsibility of the teacher as a guidance and a counseling professional to educate the students about the problem so that these can be eradicated. And there are four steps basically by which we can overcome with these problems. And the thing is to understand these steps, we have an acronym known as IDEAL. So we will discuss these steps in detail. So first is identifying problem and opportunities. First point is the first step, identifying problem and treating the problem as an opportunity begins the process. To understand this first step, I want to tell you an example. There is a story describing tenants who were angry about the elevator in their building. Constants hired to fix the problem, and they reported that elevator were no worse than average and that improvement would be very expensive. So one day the building supervisor watched the people waiting impatiently for an elevator. So he realized that the problem wasn't slow elevator but the fact that people were bored. They had nothing to do while they were waiting for elevator. So when the boredom problem was identified and seen as an opportunity to improve the waiting experience, the simple solution of installing a mirror by the elevator on each floor eliminated the complaints. So what they did, they identified their problem, the what problem actually is. Okay, so we have another point. Identifying the problem is a critical step. What happens here? Research indicates that people often hurry through these important steps. What people do, they want a quick result and focus on the solution directly instead of looking on the problem first. Experts are more likely to spend time considering the nature of problem. Once a solvable problem is identified, what next? Then we have another step. Then we will move to another step that says define goals and represent the problem. It's vital to properly define the problem once it happens identified. Only by defining the problem further can be taken to solve it. We need to take into consideration different perspectives to understand any problem. This will help to look for solution with different perspectives. We need to sort out the reason behind the problem. That is the second step of problem solving. So when we covered the first step, we will do the next effort further for solution. We will set some goals for the solution. To represent the problem and set a goal, you have to focus attention on relevant information, understand the word of the problem, and activate the right schema to understand the whole problem. And then we have a third step. We will move toward third step, that is explore possible strategies. This slide, this step we are leaving here because we will discuss it after completion of these steps. Anticipate outcomes and act. After representing the problem and exploring possible solutions, the next step is predict the outcomes and act accordingly. Here you go to predict the result, and acting on that will be the outcome. So what you will do is you will gather information. What do you know about problem and what do you have to know? After you choose a solution strategy and implement it, evaluate the results by checking for evidence and that confirms your solution. After it, the last step is look back and learn. Look back means evaluate the result and also document the whole procedure and progress, finding and solutions. Don't rely on your memory, no matter how good your memory is. So, this is the last step. You identify the problem. Next, you set a goal to solve this problem. After that, you explore a strategy according to your problem. At the last, you act on it, and finally, you got the desired results. At the last, you will look at all over this procedure and gather evidence of your work as a professional. Fine. And so these are the steps that we have discussed for problem solving. Now we have strategies. Problem solving strategy is generally very helpful as a counselor that would be able to deal with stressful life events and also prevent future life events. It's highly effective in management of youth behaviors. This is aimed at dealing with problems that emotionally disturb the client and require practical solution. There's a debate about solving problem. Some psychologists says that effective problem solving strategies are specific to the problem area. That is, the problem solving strategies like in mathematics are unique to maths, and like the strategies in art are unique to art, and so on. So at the other side of the debate says there are some general problem solving strategies that can be useful in different areas of life. So here we are going to discuss some strategies that can be used in every problem of our life. So here the first one, we have algorithm. A step-by-step procedure for solving a problem, prescription of solution. It's a usually domain specific. It is tied to a particular subject area. If you choose an appropriate algorithm and implement it properly, a right solution is guaranteed. A mathematical formula is a good example of a problem solving algorithm. Many problems can be solved and many cannot be. So if we cannot solve the problem by this method, then we have another strategy, and that is heuristic. So it says that heuristic is a general strategy that might lead to the right solution, in which goal is divided into sub goals, because many life problems like career, relationship, etc are not straightforward. So that development of effective heuristic is important. Using this problem solving strategy does allow people to simplify complex problems and reduce the total number of possible solutions to a more manageable way. To understand this, I have an example. Writing a 20-page term paper can be an insurmountable problem for some student. So they would be better of breaking this task into several intermediate goals. So if any students have problem in any field of life, feel difficulty in anything, then they can't do, so they won't get they divide their work in some sub goals. This is how they can overcome their problems. After it, we have another strategy, that is trial and error. Continue trying different solutions until problem is solved. It is characterized by repeated and again repeated varied attempts which are continue until success. After completion of all the steps, when it comes to the strategy applying this step, and then pause and try to apply different strategies according to the nature of your problem, and use different kind of strategies until you got the desired results. At the end, now I will try to give some benefits and some importance of doing this thing. There are numerous benefits to engaging in problem solving that may extend into all areas of your life. And these strategies help to both prevent and cope with stressful life difficulties. Once you have got a robust process in place, you will be able to work through any problem you encounter now and in your future. All you have to remember is to stay calm, ask the right question, and draw on your innate resources to make your solution a reality. There is a need to spread awareness about the problems. The only way in which these problems can be prevented and eradicated is by educating the young people. Because it says that benefit, what is the benefit of studying this and teaching this is okay, we educate our children, we give them awareness to solve their problems. That is all. Thank you so much.